Hey everyone, I welcome you all to the CMA Final Law Lectures. Group 3, paper number 13, Corporate and Economic Laws. The entire lectures will be taken by me. Well, my name is CS Harshwardhan Gaikwad and I will be a faculty for CMA Final Law. Now, talking specifically about the entire CMA Final Law lectures, I'll be to the point. It will be exam oriented. If you have seen my SFM lectures, you will get to know that it is going to be completely exam perspective. Now, adding more onto this, my job is basically that everybody out there who's purchasing the recordings will get an exemption in law. 2-3 points before I start with my lectures. Number one, the point is a lot of students at CMA final level, they buy recordings, they purchase recordings, and the recordings have not been completed. That's is the complaint of everybody everywhere. But talking about the law subject, I'll be very sure that I won't stretch a lot of lectures. I'll not go around the bush. I'll be very straight to the point so that your time is saved. You'll be more entertained in this subject because it's a theory subject overall. I get it because it's a theory and you're buying it recording to listen to it, a lot of things. It might get boresome at some point of time. But I'll make sure it's not like that. 2-3 things which I want to be very clear in my first lecture. Number one, the notes which I've made, I think it is more than enough even if you just go through these notes, okay? All the notes are over here. They're colorful. It will be given to you the moment you purchase it. Second thing, all these are all fresh recordings. There's no old recording in this. And the most important part which I feel you should buy this thing is because of the examination questions, okay? We'll be discussing a lot of question answers because see what happens in law. I mean, you might have heard it from your seniors that you purchase from anywhere. Okay, at the end of the day, the 3 hours which you put in that paper, okay, when your paper is there, you need to recollect all the provisions. That's where all the game is, and that's where I'll come in handy. Okay, so talking everything, and we'll have a different sequence of like giving a perception to this paper. It'll be completely different. The perspective will be different. So I'll get it in some point of time. I'll tell you what we have to do and all that. Okay, chalo. Let us start CMF final law. This is lecture number 1 and we are straight banging onto companies. Okay, now see, I'm not discussing what content is there, what syllabus is there. You'll get it from the module itself, but main thing is your company. I'm not talking about corporate law because there are 3 acts in that. There's IBC also there, but I'm only talking about what company act. Okay, 40 marks, very simple. This is the content which you guys have. Okay, now I'll be talking basic about that, but remember one thing, this lecture is not about basic. We're not going to go into private company, public company, government. Oh, baad mein karenge apan, okay? See, that is very basic. Okay, as per my knowledge goes, you might have a little bit understanding about that. Okay, so let's not go there. We'll get it. You'll get a lecture in the drive also. Well, I'll just name it over there as a basic lecture. You can see it afterwards also. It's not a very big deal. But going ahead with this, first of all, we'll understand what exactly is there. What is the content, boss? And remember one thing, whenever you start any subject, okay, any subject, this might be law or anything for that matter, please go through the past examination papers. Because see, the point is, if you have not understood the pattern of the paper, it's very simple. Just go to the site, just log on to any paper. Okay, go to model paper also. Just have a look. I know you won't understand anything because you have not started it yet, but just go through it. Ki bhai sab pucha kya hai? What all they are asking? You'll get an idea ki how about the institute is targeting on this platform. Okay, so to cut short the story, let's get to it. Number 1, company formation and conversion. That's the basic. Okay, everything is then that your CMA inter thing, private, public, your all the types of companies, your conversion is there. We'll get to it, but not now. Investment and notes, that's where the exact game starts with the CMA final. Dividends, which is we are completing entire chapter today. Accounts and audit, board of directors, board meeting, inspection, inquiry, investigation, compromise, and prevention of operation mismanagement. Okay, I know you won't get anything in this because the point is what, sir, we have no idea what is there. At a CMA inter level, sir, we know what we had. We had basics of company, then we had a few parts of quorum, minutes, proxy, and at the end of that, if you recollect something, if you just clear your CMA inter, there was something called as what? Sir, there was audit committee, if we remember, and there was some portion of directors. Okay, even directors was there, but very small portion. If I remember, there was 166 section duty liabilities, 164 disqualification, all things were there. Okay, but this is the curriculum, this is the content of your CMA final. Okay, now Eventually what we do is, like everybody does, they start with this only because yes, it is right also because it's a basic thing, but we not do that. Okay, I'll tell you what to do. First, we are completely banging on this chapter itself and we're finishing in this lecture only, dividends. Okay, but obviously before I start that, and I'm telling you again, you will get a lecture in the drive itself, will be named there specifically introduction or the basics. Okay, in that it will be covered. But what my point is, please start your energy in company law with this following. See, all the chapters over here are mutually exclusive. Okay, they're all different. It doesn't matter like you have done something and I know you have to do it in this only. No, it doesn't matter at all. The main thing is what, भाई साहब यहाँ से लेके यहाँ तक questions बहुत है. There are a lot of questions asked in this content. Okay, so without wasting your time, I'm going to start with dividend chapter. But before that, if anybody is out there who's thinking, oh sir, how can we start with dividend? At least tell some basics, ABCDs of company. I'll get to it. Wait for 2 minutes. I'll not waste that much of energy over there, but just a starter purpose. Very basic Company Act. We're doing 2013. That's number one. Second, how many sections are there? 470 sections, 29 chapters, and 7 schedules. Okay, that's the entire thing. So see, remember one thing, it is drafted by Dr. J.J. Irani committee, very basic. Okay, I think you might have done it in a CMA inter, but the main thing is what I need you to go through this. 3 numbers are there, 470 section, the entire thing, 29 chapters and 7 schedules. Okay, the administering authority of the entire corporate law is your MCA, Ministry of Corporate Affairs. Okay, now please pay attention. The main agenda for today is this. Okay, dividend. Now everybody pay attention. Okay, I'm going to start this chapter now and we're going to do everything in that. Okay, everything. In fact, after the end of this video or this lecture, you have to be in a position that, sir, I know everything about dividend. Okay, it's a very small chapter, very chotu chapter. Okay, but it's very, very important. 123 to 127. That's the section range for dividend. Okay, you might recollect dividend. कितना छोटा चैप्टर है, तो क्या करना है उसमें, बहुत कुछ करना है भाई. And like questions asked in the examination. Okay, so please we start. I've given charts over there, there's everything over there. Okay, but we need to write down everything. So all of you out there, headphone जिसने लगाए भाई साहब, एक book maintain करेंगे आप लॉ के लिए चकाचक एकदम. Which is important, please make a proper book. If at all after few lectures, after one chapter, please send a copy of that to the team at HGPA. Let me also check whether what you are doing and not. Okay, can we start? Yes, everybody. The chapter name is Declaration and Payment of Dividend. Sir, you just said one thing, that there are 470 sections, there are 29 chapters and 7 schedules. So which exactly is this chapter? This chapter is number 8. This chapter is number 8, not of your index, that we're talking about the Bear Act. Okay, so chapter 8, it relates to declaration and payment of dividend. Okay, for the first few minutes, for 2-3 minutes, I'll be only talking about what? The heading. Now remember one thing, yaar. See, when I talk about dividend, pay attention. It's very basic. So when I talk about dividend, is basically what? You are dividing the profit and you're distributing it to everybody. Ki bhai ye le paisa. There are 2 types of what? Oops. There are 2 types of shareholders. Okay, number 1, give me a minute. Okay, just up this mic somewhere. I hope the voice is coming. Yeah, there are 2 types of shareholders, equity and preference. So ये chapter किसके लिए भाई? Equity के लिए, preference के लिए? It's for the equity shareholders. You see, little bit basics, because see, a lot of people still get confused in equity and preference. Equity is basically ownership. Preference, why it is called preference? Because they are preferred over equity. And they're preferred in 2 things. One is dividend and the other is repayment of capital. Let's not talk about preference for a minute. Let's only talk about equity shareholders. When I'm talking about equity shareholders, these guys are the most riskiest of the entire lot. Why risk, sir? Because if there is profit in the company, kuch bachta hai, then only it will be given to equity shareholders. Now the point is what? Sir, dividend is something that the company is giving you return, right? Then why on earth there are rules to it? If the company wants to give you dividend, then let them give dividend. No. Why rules is there? So boss, if you're thinking in this way, so pay attention. The point is, let us say if there is profit, it's okay. You can give dividend at all. There's no problem. But what if there is no profit and still the company is tempting to give dividend? In that, this will come. All the provisions will come. There are a few days which you need to learn. We'll make a timeline properly afterwards. So, number one, sir, declaration and payment of dividend. That's where we have stuck. So remember one thing, if I ask you a very simple question, you can ask yourself also, who declares dividend? The answer is very simple. It's not the board of directors. It is the shareholders in the meeting. Because the point is, boys and girls, the board of directors, they always recommend. And the shareholders in the general meeting, they declare the dividend. So what exactly is this? Remember one thing, the board of directors will have something called as a board meeting. Everybody will be sitting in the board meeting. In board meeting, they will pass something called as a board resolution, right? So they'll discuss, Are Baba, should we recommend a dividend this time? Everybody will say, yes, okay, no problem. We are at a capacity, we can declare or we can recommend 10% dividend. Now this is the board resolution which is passed at a board meeting. This resolution again goes where? It goes to the AGM or any general meeting for that matter, and it is proposed to them. Ki boss, we have recommended how much? 10%. Want it? Then the shareholder will say yes. The moment they say yes, it will be called as what? Ki the dividend has been declared. Now there are a lot of questions which will come up over here. So one sec. If the board members have recommended 10%, and if shareholders say no to it, what is this 10%? So less it is. Can you increase the rate of dividend? The answer will be straight no. You cannot increase the rate of dividend which is recommended by the board of directors. You might lower it down, but that will be a big joke. That's another story. But can you increase it? The answer is straight away no. Okay. So very simple, crisp line. Dividend is recommended by the board of directors, declared by the shareholders in the general meeting. Very, very simple. Okay. Sir, now coming back to, we are only at the line topic. I'm not started also yet. The point is, sir, in the entire thing, it's only section 123 to 127. Okay. Such few sections we have to do, sir. But wait. Understand what exactly we have to do. Okay. The 123, they'll call. Obviously, 120 will talk about sources of dividend, from where you need to pay dividend and all that. 124 will talk about something called as unpaid dividend account. I'll tell you what is that. 125 will talk about IEPF, Investor Education Protection Fund. And the last 127, which is the most important section, it is the punishment for the entire sections. If you don't do this, this is the punishment. Okay, we'll get to that in a minute. Okay, so can we start, everyone? I want complete attention and complete concentration. Everyone, done. Now, you'll get these notes, okay? No, don't worry about that. Okay, number one, all the definitions of Companies Act are in section number 2, as you all know. Section 2, clause 35, such a beautiful and sweet definition. It is so easy, So we go to section 2, clause 35 and we ask, hey, Baba, please tell me what is the definition of dividend. You know what this guy says? He says, I have no idea what it is. You know what he says? Dividend includes interim dividend. That is the definition of dividend. One second, but there's a lot to it. Dividend includes interim dividend. Now, dividend is announced, is declared where? So, at the annual general meeting. Then, why is it telling it includes interim dividend? Very simple. So, the provisions of all the dividend are completely applicable to interim dividend. So, what is the meaning of interim dividend? The dividend which is declared between 2 AGMs. In a year, you're declaring back-to-back dividends. That will be interim dividend and not the annual dividend. Okay. Sir, from where are we supposed to pay the dividend? Very simple. Of your profit. See, it implies distribution of any sums out of profit, wherever permitted out of free reserve. Wherever permitted, we'll get to it. So the main crux, the main idea is what? You need to declare dividend out of profit. So very simple. Okay. Next. Recommended and declared. This we have already done. Recommended and declared. Sir, you know this. We know this now. Okay. Now, can I ask you one simple question, boys and girls? Pay attention. Sir, the annual dividend is declared by the shareholders in the general meeting. Sir, we understood that. The next question is, if I ask a very simple question, same thing, who declares interim dividend? Your answer might be same. Sir, same logic. Recommended, declared. No. Remember one thing. Interim dividend is always declared by the board of directors. Because remember, Shareholders have nothing to say in that. Shareholders क्या बोल रहे हैं भाई मिल रहा है पैसा आने दो फिर. Don't even ask us. So the board of directors will take the meeting itself and they will declare कि बाबा हमने declare कर दिया है. We have declared it. So remember one thing. Interim dividend is always declared by what? The board of directors. Okay. चलो. Now one more thing. ऐसा कौन सा कंपनी है which company it is who does not declare dividend, which is prohibited? So it's very simple. The answer will be what? So section 8 company, which you already know it. Okay, section 8 company is not allowed to pay dividend. That's the main feature. Okay, chalo, pay attention please everybody, very important. Pay attention sir. This is section number 123. What it is? Sources for declaration of dividend. I have taken question also in this question answers, practical question answers, you understand. Okay, so what are the sources? Very simple. Number one, profits for current financial year. And remember one thing, when you are declaring dividend, always remember one thing, it has to be after providing for depreciation. You should make sure that there is a provision in that. See, remember one thing, what is depreciation here? It is a wear and tear of asset. Arey, if you are using the profit in which you have not deducted what the depreciation part, you may end up in so much profit which you do not have actually, and you will end up in that a point where the amount of that asset in which no depreciation is there, it will show a very wrong value in the balance sheet. And why we provide depreciation, Baba? And because at a point of time when you use the asset, it will go in wear and tear. That's why we make a provision. So in dividend, it's very simple. If you want to declare dividend out of the current year profit, make sure it is after depreciation. Sir, next. Can we use any profit of previous years? Yes, but there are few restrictions to it. We'll do it, okay? If any money is given by the government, any, let us say, donations are given, any grants are given, which is specifically for dividend, you can use that money also, okay? Now, pay attention. Very important, okay? Now, I have written over here, it's in red also, transfer to reserves. There was a percentage first. After the amendment, the percentage is gone. So what is the meaning of this? Can you transfer, or is it compulsory to transfer some amount of your profit to reserves? It is completely at the discretion of the management. First, it was not like that. First, there was a percentage which was attached to it. Now it is not like that. You want to transfer 10%? Transfer 10%. To where? To reserves. अपन बोलते हैं ना पॉकेट मनी साइड में रखना है, तो वो ये है. पहले परसेंटेज था. नो आई एम नॉट कंफ्यूजिंग विद द परसेंटेज बिकॉज़ दैट्स ऑलरेडी गॉन नाउ, बट नाउ इट इज एट व्हाट? द डिस्क्रिप्शन ऑफ द कंपनी. सर, इट इज कंपल्सरी और व्हाट? Let us say one company does not put on any money in the reserve, no problem, there is no compulsion over here. Now if you are paying attention, this is the most important part in dividend chapter. So what it is, why it is so important? Now you tell me one thing, if there is profit in the company, well and good, we have no problem at all, bindas paisa de do. But what if there is no profit and still you want to give what dividend? Then these conditions will come into picture. Now what are the conditions? We'll check that. It's very important. So if you have a book in front of you, please write it, okay? Declaration of dividend when there is what? Inadequacy or absence of profit. This is second. Remember, I want you to also write one thing. Second proviso to section 123 and the rule is 3. I'll repeat myself again. If there is a question in the paper which is telling that a company has no profit at all, still it wants to go ahead and declare dividend, what is exactly the legal provision? Second proviso to section 123 and rule number 3. Sir, 1 minute. How many conditions are there? There are 4 conditions. How many conditions are there? There are 4 conditions. Condition number 1. Condition number 1. Very simple, okay? I hope it is visible to you. Yeah. The rate of dividend declared shall not exceed the average of the rates at which dividend was declared by company in the immediately preceding 3 years. Very simple. If in 2025 I want to declare a dividend, so boss, 22, 23, 24, whatever dividends I have declared previous, I need to take average of the rate, okay? Average of the rate. And I cannot exceed that rate in this what? Current financial year. Okay, done. Sir, we have 2-3 questions, which like it's very simple question, sir. The first question, Sir, what if the company has not declared dividend only in a 3 years? The first condition is saying 3 year ka average nikalo. Sir, only 2 years we have declared dividend, and then no problem. Take the average of 2 years. Sir, 1 year, no problem. Take that rate as it is. So it is not compulsory 3. If it is 3, you can make 3. If it is 2, take the average of 2. But remember one thing, you cannot exceed the rate of the previous years. Okay, 1. Okay, sir, got it. This is okay. Condition 2. Condition 2. What is condition 2? Sir, condition 2 is the total amount to be drawn from dash. What? The accumulated profit shall not exceed 10% of PSC plus FR. I write it here only. PSC plus FR. So what exactly is this? Remember one thing. Remember one thing. Sir, we are doing this provision because we have no profit only this year. But still, we have that tempting. No, we need to what? Give dividend to them. The point is very simple. Go behind in the previous year. If you have any reserves, if you have any savings, that's called as accumulated reserve. You need to take out money from that, right? So how much money can you take out from the accumulated reserve, boss? The answer is over here. It shall not exceed 10% of PSC plus FR. It shall not exceed PSC plus FR, paid up share capital plus FR. So you can go to your latest audited balance sheet, go there, take it, liability side, two amounts will be there, PSC, FR, added up into 10%. So that is the amount which you can actually what? Withdraw from where? Accumulated reserve. Are you understanding this? Very simple. Sir, okay, done. So, sir, second condition talks about how much money can you withdraw from the accumulated reserve. We got the answer, sir. It's what? Not exceeding 10% of PSC plus FR. Okay, sir, done. Next, condition number 3. Sir, now we have money in the hand. Now, can we go and give dividend to them? No. When you get the money from accumulated reserve, the first thing is that you need to set off the losses. If there are any losses in that year, please set it off, because it doesn't make any sense only. Because if I take the money from the accumulated reserve and I just go there and I spend money in the form of dividend, losses are still there. The Company Act is telling you, Baba, pehle set off the losses. And if any money remains, then you can use it for dividend. Okay, sir. The last condition, very important. Last condition, I'll make it very simple for you. That dabba is not dabba. कौन सा dabba? Accumulated reserve वाला. Please उसमें झांक के देखो. Please go and check into that. There has to be minimum balance maintained. You cannot withdraw the entire stuff, रे. See, what if you withdraw the entire stuff from the accumulated reserve? पूरा खत्म हो जाएगा, sir. So the fourth condition restricts that amount over there. The fourth condition talks about the balance of reserves after withdrawal. The second condition, it shall not fall below between 15% of only PSC, not FR. Only 15% of PSC. Can we repeat it again? 4 condition. Sir, one sec. These 4 conditions come when into picture? Normal dividend or what? No, Baba. This comes into picture only if what? Only if there is no profit at all. Then only come here. If in the question they have mentioning properly, there is enough profit in the current financial year, and then why will I come here? I'll only come here if there is no profit. Acha, और एक बात. Sir, ठीक है, we got that. What is the rule? Second proviso to section 123, rule number 3. 4 conditions, very simple, smooth it is. Condition number 1, what it is? What is condition number 1, please? So condition 1 is very simple. The rate to be declared in this year should not exceed the rate of the average of 3 years. Condition number 2. Sir, do one thing. The balance to be withdrawn from the accumulated reserve should not exceed 10% of PSC plus FR. The amount withdrawn should be first be set off against the losses. And what is condition number 4, my boss? Condition 4 is the balance to be maintained after withdrawal should not fall below what? 15% of only paid up share capital. The point is, even if we do this, there has to be a practical example. So this is complete theory. We might understand this. But sir, we'll enjoy more if there are numbers attached to this. Okay. So you wished it, and there is a question over here, question for practice. Okay. I want everyone to take out the calculators, and I need you to compute this. Okay. You can pause the video and you can compute for your own. Okay. And then you can cross check. Hideaway Industries Limited has a paid up capital of 200 lakh. One second, what's happening? 200 lakh and reserves of 240 lakhs. The loss for the year was 30 lakh. Okay. Dividend declared for the 3 years 9%, 10% and 12%. Okay. Now, what is the maximum rate at which company can declare dividend for the current year? Okay. Wait, think for 2-3 minutes. Think for 2-3 minutes. At least understand what exactly it is. Don't do very ghai gadbad. Okay. I'm not going into answer very quickly. Okay. You think and pause the video. You can check. So, okay. Take your calculator. You know all the 4 conditions now. Just do something. Scribble down something. See whether you can get the answer or what. Okay. Don't just fast forward the video. Do it aram se. There's no problem. But you need to do it. That's the main point. Now, the main point is, you know what? The main point. If you are thinking, such a simple example, sir. Such a simple question this is. So, we can do it in 1 minute. See. 9 plus 10 plus 12 divided by 3. Sir, finish. Game over. 10.33%. Are Baba, if you're doing this, no, wait. There are 4 conditions, boss. There are 4 conditions. See what are they telling you. If they are writing accumulated reserve, the clear cut meaning is what? They are not having current profit. अरे लॉस है इस साल का, इसका मतलब चारों कंडीशन फुलफिल करना पड़ेगा. अच्छा, टेल मी वन थिंग सर, अकॉर्डिंग टू my first condition number 1, how much the rate is coming? So you know what I'll do? 9 plus 10 plus 12 divided by 3. What is the answer? 10.33%. Okay, this is the rate. Can you please tell me dividend is declared on what rate? Sir, paid up share capital, sir. So can you please tell me what exactly is the amount which is coming, which you need to declare? So it's very simple, sir. They've already given us what? The paid up share capital is 200. So 200 into 10.333%. 20.67 round off. How much is the amount in rupees? 20.66 lakhs. 20.66 lakhs. Okay, sir. So this much amount of money I should have, no, which I don't have. It's loss in this year. Then we come down to condition number 2. Can you please tell me what was condition number 2? Sir, you can withdraw from the accumulated reserve. How much? Not exceeding 10% of PAC plus FR. Okay, sir, no problem. So what I'll do? 200 plus 240 into 10%. How much I can withdraw? Sir. Condition 2. 200 plus 240. This is 440. 440 into how much? 10%. How much are we getting? Sir, we are getting 44 lakhs. We are getting 44 lakhs. This is the amount. This is the amount which you will withdraw from the fund. You will withdraw from the fund. Okay, sir, no problem. But tell me one thing. Sir, see, I have to pay 20.66 lakhs a dividend. And how much I have to withdraw? Sir, 44 lakhs. I have enough money. But you are missing one point. Loss कौन करेगा minus? Loss set off करना पड़ेगा पहले. Oh my God. Okay, sir. So 44 lakhs minus, how much is the loss? Where is loss? 30. 44 lakhs minus 30 lakhs. How much is the answer? 44 minus 30. Sir, we have left with only, oh my God, how much? Sir, amount is only 14 lakhs. Sir, we wanted to pay dividend how much? 20.66. But because of this condition, what has happened now? My amount has gone down. Now the amount is only 14 lakhs which is remaining in my hand now. One sec, there is one more condition to be complied. Let's see the amount is going more down or what. Can you please tell me what was the fourth condition? The fourth condition was that the amount left in that accumulated reserve should not fall below 15% of PAC. Okay, no problem. The main thing is what? Please go and check how much is the paid up share capital. 200 into 15%. How much is this? Sir, it is 30. So, bhai sahab, tell me one thing. This was your dabba. This is which dabba? Accumulated reserve. Tell me how much was the money in this reserve, Ray? Sir, 240 lakhs was the money in this. Okay. How much did you take out, Ray? Sir, we took out 44 lakhs. How much is remaining in that? 240 minus 44. Sir, 196 lakh. I write it over here, okay? 196 lakhs is still remaining. But according to condition number 4, what are they telling? The balance to be maintained in that thing should not fall below how much? 15% of PAC. No problem, sir. No problem. 200 into 15% is only 30 lakhs. 30 lakhs ही maintain करने का है. अपन कितना maintain कर रहे हैं? 196 lakhs we are maintaining. There is no problem. So, to cut short the story, summary, this is the amount, 14 lakhs which you will issue for dividend. 14 lakhs is the answer, okay? You can again comment down there somewhere if you have got the answer right of 14 lakhs, very good, but still it is not the final answer. Sir, kaisa possible hai sir? Ho gaya na abhi 14 lakhs. What is more solved to this in this? Are baba, what are they asking you? They are asking you maximum rate. Oh, aisa hai kya? So now what we did is we actually computed what? We computed the dividend amount, the maximum dividend amount, but not the rate. I hope you are getting what I am telling. So the rate is to be computed taking this into consideration. What? Because the dividend is always on the paid up share capital. So 14 divided by 200, your answer will be 7%. 7% is your final answer. 7% is your. So the maximum rate is 14 lakhs divided by 200 lakhs. How much this will be? 7%. This is your final answer. I hope this is right. Let me check it. Yes. How much is this? Rate of 7%. That is how much? Your 14 lakh is your final answer. So the whoever has got it can just drop a comment that you've got it right. Okay. Remember one thing. Doing provision is okay. But if you add something in that, some numbers in that, it will become much more good. Okay, sure. Can we go ahead, please? Can we go ahead? I hope you have understood this. Very simple. Second proviso to section 123. Rule number 3. 4 conditions. Very smooth. Okay. You can make a small chart over there. Just stick it somewhere wherever you are studying. Okay. Next. Payment of dividend. Sir, I should tell you one thing here. The dividend needs to be payable to whom? Sir, it's very simple. It needs to be paid only to the registered shareholder. अरे बाबा जिसका नाम उसमें है registered members में, if your name is there in that, we will give you dividend or to his order. So what is order? Let us say company sends me a message, Harsh, we want to send you dividend. I said don't send it to me, send it to Mr. Aditya over here. So I have given you order, you send it to him, that is my order, or to his banker. Otherwise I'll give you standing instructions. Whatever it is, it's my banker's HDFC bank. So please tie up with him. Whatever money you have to give me in dividend, please give it to him. That's my account there with him. So dividend can be paid to registered shareholder or to his order or to his banker. Very, very simple. Next, dividends are always payable in what? Cash and not in kind. I want to highlight something over here. Pay attention thoda far. Important hai ye zara. Cash and not in kind. Sir, it is such a simple point, sir. It's such a simple point. Dividends are always payable in cash and not in kind. Sir, what you will explain in this? It's a straightforward explanation. But I want to ask you something over here in the upper line over there. Can you please tell me in Companies Act what is payable in kind? What is payable in kind? Sir, how can you pay something in kind, sir? How? I'll give you iPhones instead of the money. How it's possible? No, it's not possible. But. Listen to me. There's something called as underwriting commission. There's something called as, listen to me very carefully here, underwriting commission. You know who are underwriters? Underwriters are those fellows who will, where there's under subscription, these guys will come into picture and they will fill up your gap. Underwriters get commission. Now the main point is what? The payment of underwriters commission can be payable in kind. There's one famous question in the entire Companies Act, and that is, can we give out flats, FLATs, flat, instead of cash to them? The answer is yes. Because the section does not restrict. Here the section has restricted. It is always payable in cash and not in kind. But in the underwriter's commission point, there is nothing mentioned only. So all these institutes, ICAI, ICMA, ICSI, they ask a very good question, which is common everywhere. Can flats be paid, or can the underwriter's commission be paid in kind? The answer is yes. Just comparing it though, okay. Now, dividends are payable in dash dash dash. So what is this? In cash or check? Big deal. This is important, my boy. Dividend warrant. Now, what is dividend warrant? It's very simple. I hope you have listened to this word called as warrant. It is very mainly associated when police comes and arrests a person, then the guy will ask you, do you have a warrant? Okay, that's the warrant. Same thing applies over here. It is basically a coupon. It is a coupon, okay. So let us say I am entitled to dividend. I go in the company. I said, boss, I don't want money right now. Okay, can I collect it next month? They'll say, okay, Harsh, there is no problem, but please carry this dividend warrant. Okay. Sometimes dividend warrants are posted also, because I don't want the money right now. I want it next month. Okay, so I'll just go afterwards next month. I'll just show the warrant over there. Yes, I am that fellow. I am entitled to this dividend. So please give me what? Dividend. Do you understand this? Very, very simple. Very, very simple. I hope you're getting everything. Okay. Now, the first point, boys and girls, dividends are payable to dash, dash, and dash, registered shareholder, or to his order, or to his banker. Second point is what? Second point. So dividends are payable only in cash and not in kind. Okay. Cash, check, electronic means, and dividend warrant. Okay. I hope you have got that. We've drawn a simple diagram over here, which it will be handy for you afterwards. Okay. But boss, one sec. Very, very important. Kya likha hai? Sir, applicability to nidhis. So what is nidhis? Okay. Nidhi company we're talking about. Okay. So in the entire Companies Act, there are few exceptions here and there. So whenever you see a provision, there will be exception, especially two companies. One is IFSC, that is International Financial Services Center, which I'll tell you later in the lectures. Okay. The second is this Nidhi company. They're given basic exemptions to them. Now, what is the big exemption to these people? Acha, और एक बात. Dividends, you can write this down. Huh? Dividends are to be paid in 30 days after declaration. Dividends are to be paid in 30 days after declaration. 30 days के अंदर आपको पे ही करना पड़ता है. Okay. Now, the subsection shall apply to Nidhi subject to modification that any dividend payable in cash may be paid by crediting the same to the account of the member if the dividend is not claimed within 30 days from date of declaration of dividend. Sir, we did not get this point. What rubbish point is this? What is this rubbish point? Are Baba, listen to me. First, I'll talk about normal company and then I'll talk about Nidhi company. In normal company, when the dividend is declared, the company needs to pay it within 30 days. Okay, that you also wrote in the book right now. But this has a small modification when it comes to Nidhi company. In Nidhi company, all members are there. What is Nidhi company? To cultivate the habit of savings. Or every member will put in some money. Then there will be a big jackpot. You want it, please take all the money. And the point is, if you do not come to take the dividend, there is no problem. Bhaisap, we will credit your account with the dividend. This is not there in a normal thing. In your normal if you're not coming to claim your dividend, there are a hell lot of provisions. Again, इसमें ऐसा नहीं है. इसमें वो क्या बात कर रहे हैं? कोई बात नहीं है. We do not come. जिस account से पैसा है, उस account में हम लोग क्या कर देंगे? We will give you a dividend. Very, very simple. Pay attention. Okay. One more question for practice. Pay attention. I have jotted down a couple of questions. Okay, which you will understand properly also, and you will not get bored in between also. Okay. Chalo. The directors of East West Limited proposed dividend at 15% equity shares for financial year 23-24. The company announced 7th September as the record date. Concept important. ध्यान देंगे. The dividend was approved in AGM on 3rd of September. Mr. Binoy was the holder of 2,000 equity shares, but he transferred the shares to Mr. Mohan in 24, whose name has been entered and registered on 18th of June 24. Who will be entitled to the above dividend? So I think we need to go through the question once again. That is what I think. Okay, pay attention. Now, sir, in the entire chaos, you know what I think? What on earth is this? Record date is a date where the company freezes the date. It freezes. if this is the date over here, till this date, whosever name is coming flashing in the register of members, we will give dividend only to them. There will be no dividend given after the record date. जिसका नाम नहीं है उसमें, जिसका है उसके पहले उसको हम dividend देंगे. Very simple. Now the point is what? Can we go on to a question once again? The company announced 7th September 24 as the record date. So 7th September is the record date. Okay. The dividend was approved in AGM held on 3rd of September. Mr. Binoy was the holder of 2000 equity shares since 31st March 2018. So Mr. Binoy का नाम था उसमें. But he transferred the shares to Mr. Mohan, whose name has been entered in register on 18th of June 24. Let's see. Dividend shall be paid by company only to registered shareholders. Record date is the date announced by the company for determining entitlement to dividend. All those persons whose name is included in the register of members on that day shall be entitled. In the instant case, on the date announced by company on the record date, Mr. Mohan name is present in the register of members. That is, Mr. Binoy's name is not present there. Therefore, dividend should be paid to Mr. Mohan, who is the registered shareholder on the record date. Okay. I think यहाँ पे थोड़ा गड़बड़ हो गया. ये जून नहीं है, this is September. 18 September his name is registered. The record date was 7th of September. The 7th of September भैया नाम किसका था? It was only and only whose? Binoy's. किसको दिया जाएगा सिर्फ? One second. 18th of June they are telling or what? Done. No. The question is right. 18th of June. So it is basically before the record date. If 18th of June is there, then the name किसका name flash हो रहा है उसके ऊपर? Sir, it is more. It doesn't matter who is old and all that. Whose name is registered before the record date, उसको क्या मिलेगा? Dividend मिलेगा. Okay, so my bad. I thought the question is wrong. It is 18th of June 24. That's the right date. And Mr. Mohan will be eligible for what? Mr. Mohan will be eligible for what? The पैसा. Okay, so it's very simple. Record date के पहले किसका नाम है उसको पैसा मिलेगा. बहुत simple. ठीक है. चलो. Next. Interim dividend. There is one condition. This is very good. Okay. First of all, what is the meaning of interim dividend? 2-3 points should be very clear. Interim dividend is a dividend declared between two AGMs. Sir, okay, done. Second, who declares the interim dividend? It is not the shareholder. It is the board of directors. Okay. Now, I'll just tell you one thing in this. I've written it everywhere. The declaration of interim dividend is done out of profit before final adoption. Interim dividend should be said to be declared and paid between what? Two AGMs. Very straightforward. But one thing I want to tell you, where a question can come. Now, see, remember one thing. See, listen to me very carefully. In your interim dividend, if there is profit, you can give. But who is stopping you? But if there is loss, then company act is stopping you. No. वापिस 4 condition नहीं है. एक ही condition है सिर्फ. वो condition क्या? I'll tell you very immediately. See, if the company has incurred loss during the current financial year up to the end of quarter, immediately preceding the date of declaration, there are 4 quarters in a year, 3 months each. So the quarter in which you are declaring the dividend, let's say the previous quarter, it has a loss, the company has loss. Okay, then such interim dividend shall not be declared at a rate higher than the average of the dividend declared by company during the 3 preceding financial years. Sir, 1 minute. You know what we think? This is the same point which was there in condition 1 right now. Same point it is. Because the same thing. Remember one thing. In interim dividend, only condition 1 is there. Only one condition we have. And that is the average rate wala condition. So if there's a question in your paper, please confirm ki which type of dividend it is. Is it a normal dividend or is it an interim dividend? If it is an interim dividend, then you need to check ki whether losses there are what in the quarter just ending. If loss is there, then the interim dividend will be restricted till what? So the same condition, the average of the rates of the preceding 3 years. I hope you have got this. Okay. Now, the simple distinguish between of interim and final dividend. So interim dividend is declared and paid during accounting year, that is before finalization of the accounts, because yes, it's before AGM, right? यहाँ पे it is recommended by the board, declared by the shareholders, announced by board of directors, same recommended by board of directors. Before preparation is after preparation. This is important, very important. क्या लिखा है? Sir, interim dividend can be revoked with the consent of all the shareholders. Oh my God. Okay. Normal dividend, it cannot be revoked. The moment it is declared, you are finished there only. This is a very important point, bhai sahab. This point is very, very important. You can write it down somewhere. Not the upper part, the points which are upper are very simple, but this is important. Interim dividend can be revoked with the consent of all the shareholders, but a normal dividend cannot be revoked. It's a liability. You need to pay it out then, the moment it's declared. Okay. Next, depositing the amount of dividend, very, very important. Now see, when the lecture gets over, we'll draw a timeline. Okay, even I'll draw a timeline. In timeline, we need to jot down the days, what days they are, very, very proper. So I've already told you one day. Okay, see, I'll just do it here only. Give me a moment. Declaration. So bhai sahab, within declaration, within 30 days, I need to pay, right? Within 30 I need to pay, right? There's one more thing coming now. So depositing the amount of dividend, what is this? Very simple. The moment you declare, it might be normal dividend or your interim, you need to transfer it to a separate account maintained with the bank. And it is right only now. If you want to give dividend, you cannot put it in the same account which is there. You have to maintain a separate account. And this has to be done in how many days? 5 days. So I can write over here. After declaration, in 5 days, you have to maintain what account? A separate account. A separate account for what? Dividend purpose. Okay, sir, done. No problem, sir. Okay. Next. Prohibition on declaration of dividend. Very simple. You know one answer in this. Tell me which company is prohibited. Sir, very simple. Section 8 company is prohibited, but there's one more point. And this is important, the first one wala. If the company has defaulted in deposit. So what is the meaning of this? Company has taken deposit from the people. I'm not talking now what members, public. This is very simple, okay? 73 section to 76A. That's what they've written in deposit. But just remember one thing. Company has taken deposit and it has defaulted on the maturity. Company ने पैसा दिया नहीं वापस. If you are a defaulter in deposit, then don't give dividend. You are prohibited. Company Act is telling first go and give deposit to the people instead of giving dividend over here. So, bhai sahab, if you are a defaulter in deposit, you cannot give dividend. And if you are section 8, तो भाई सवाल ही उठता नहीं है. You cannot give dividend, don't even a section company. Very, very important. Ladies and gentlemen, please pay attention. Unpaid dividend account. UDA. Very, very, very important. Okay. Now see, according to us, in the timeline which you're drawing, there are 2 days in that. One is your 30 and the other is your 5. Now it is unpaid dividend account. I'll tell you what is this. Where a dividend has been declared by the company but has not been paid or claimed within 30 days. It's very important. The 2 words which are coming now. Pay attention. Sir, dividend declared. Company is waiting with money. Ki bhai, please come. We have to give you money. But if nobody comes, it is unclaimed. What is unclaimed? Nobody is coming to fetch the money only. Or it is unpaid. Due to anything, let us say one thing, there was some outstanding from the member. Loan लिया था उसने पहले, तो हम लोग पैसा दिया नहीं उसको कि पहले loan पहले क्या कर, clear कर. So we did not pay, or it was unclaimed by them. So boss, if that is the case, then please transfer this amount of the respective shareholder within how many days? 7 days to something called as what? UDA account. And this happens when? After the expiry of your 30 days. So after this, in 7 days, it will be transferred to UDA account. UDA account. Expiry of 30 days. Are you getting this thing? एक बार वापस. Sir, one second. What is this, sir? What is this? Unpaid dividend account. So whenever you have declared your dividend, you need to pay it in 30 days. That is confirmed. But if the dividend is unclaimed or unpaid, then boss, you need to transfer the amount in some account called as what? Unpaid dividend account. Because the point is, you cannot keep the money, right? So you need to transfer it somewhere. And that account is called as unpaid dividend account. In how many days? 7 days. In 7 days from the expiry of what? 30 days. From the expiry of what? 30 days. Very, very important. Next. Within 90 days, one sec, where's this red pen? Within 90 days of transferring any amount to unpaid dividend account, the company shall prepare a statement containing names. It's a MCQ question also. Pay attention, please. Khatam kar denge yahan pe. The point is, sir, in the timeline, declare 5 separate account, declare 30 payment, declare 30 plus 7 UDA account. But the moment you transfer the amount, remember one thing, the moment you transfer the amount in unpaid dividend account, any amount, see any day you transfer in 7 days, यहां से 90 days में, मतलब यहां से मतलब आप जब ट्रांसफर करेंगे यूडीए में, you have to prepare a statement. Sir, one sec. Sir, statement of what? Statement of what, sir? And a statement of all those people to whom it is unclaimed or unpaid. You need to tell out to the public, right? Ki bhai sahab, your amount is still pending. So that thing you have to put it somewhere. Where? Website or any other website where the central government tells you. Very, very simple. Sir, one sec. There's something very important over here, sir. Very important, sir. If a default is made in transferring the total unpaid dividend amount or any part thereof to UDA. See, unpaid dividend account is very important. Huh? See, if you make a default in transferring to unpaid dividend account, so what is the meaning of this? We are talking about that 7 days ka logic. If you put a delay over there, then boss, you need to pay 12% rate of interest. Now, I'll tell you one more point. In the entire chapter, there are 2 types of interest rate. One is this. So please write it down somewhere. If there is a delay in transferring to unpaid dividend account, then boss, the company needs to pay an interest of how much? 12% per annum. 12% per annum, okay? On the money obviously not transferred to that account, okay? Very, very simple. Now, very, very important. I think you might know this, but still I'll tell you. Sir, we understood something, okay? So there's something called as a normal dividend account, which is maintained with the bank, which we put the money in 5 days, finish, 30 days, 7, 90 में statement बनाने का है. अभी और एक बात है, sir, अभी जितना पैसा है, whatever money it is lying in that unpaid dividend account only. Sir, for how many years, sir? The answer is 7. The company has an obligation. Listen to this very carefully. The company has an obligation for 7 years. If anybody comes in 7 years or 3 years before you declare dividend, no, please give it to me. I have to give it after obviously listening to the reason. I will go in the unpaid dividend account. I'll take the money. I'll give it to him. But the obligation, till when can I maintain this account? I have other work also to do. 7 years is the time. The money jab transfer kiya, 7 years it will then unpaid dividend account. After that, the money will be transferred. The money will be transferred from UD account to IEPF. What is IEPF? That's the next section of 124. Investor Education and Protection Fund. Investor Education and Protection Fund. Section number 124. So once again, what is this, sir? It is a fund which is maintained by central government's authority. And remember, the name only suggests investor education protection. The fund is made for that. Remember, this fund is not specifically made for dividend purpose. Huh? It's a normal fund. It's a general fund. Okay. So don't get that. अरे dividend के लिए बनाया नहीं भाई. बनाया सबके लिए. उसमें से dividend का amount वहाँ पे जा रहा है. ठीक है? After 7 years. After 7 years it is going. Are you understanding this? Very, very important. Investor education and protection fund. Very important. Okay. Sir, one question, sir. Sir, after 7 years, that person comes to know, or 7 years before this company declared dividend, which I did not go and collect only. Let us say this person was in United States of America. He was there. He comes back after 8-9 years. Then he understands, oh my God, there's a dividend declared in favor of my name. So he goes to the company. Company will say, Baba, I have nothing to do in this. I have nothing to do. It's you and that IEPF. You go there directly. You have no work with me. Tell me one thing, IAPF will actually hear your reasons out. If they find it bona fide, genuine, kya baba, he is genuine, then they'll give the money out of that. Are you understanding this thing? So. Punishment for contravention. If a company fails to comply with any other requirement of this section, okay, any of thing what you are doing right now, delay किया तुमने, पैसा नहीं भेजा आपने, such company will be liable for what? Sir, penalty of 1 lakh rupees, continuing failure of 500 per day. You can make a box over there, okay? It's very simple. I'll only make it. Company, sir, how much the penalty? Liable till how much? 1 lakh. Continuing failure, rupees 500 per day. 500 per day. Next, maximum 10 lakhs for the company, right? Sir, officer in default, how much is the answer? Sir, officer in default, how much it is? Sir, it is 25,000 rupees, 25 liable till 25,000 rupees, 25k. Sir, continuing failure का मतलब क्या होता है कि सब पहले बोला उसको वापस किया उसने, he does it again. How much is it? Sir, 100 per day. 100 per day. And sir, maximum how much? Sir, maximum 2 lakh, maximum 2 lakh rupees. That is the main point. See, remember one thing. In Companies Act, there are a lot of penalties. But, ladies and gentlemen, there are few sections which are specifically meant for a penalty. It's a different thing. Where there are general penalties, that's okay. You might give them second priority. But the section which are meant only and only for penalty. For example, I'll just tell you. This is important. In fact, 127 in this chapter only, it's only meant for penalty only. So you need to learn that up. It's very important. Next. Pay attention, please. What is happening? Chalo. We'll do IPF section 125. I think I said 124 or what over here while explaining. मैं कहाँ पे तो 124 बोला अभी क्या? Somewhere I said 124. हाँ, 125. My bad. Sorry. 124 is वही अपना unpaid unclaimed dividend वाला. IEPF 125. There are 3 questions in this. One, pay attention. Achha, tell me one thing. Investor Education and Protection Fund. Is it a fund only maintained for dividend purpose? No, sir. No. It's a central fund. It's a general fund. So the first question which might come in this, which are the other amounts credited to this fund? It's a big question. Which are the amounts which are credited to this fund? Can I make your life a bit simpler by just telling you one thing? Tell me one thing. Only one amount you know up till now. Sir, if the dividend is not claimed for 7 years, it will be transferred to IPF. Simple. Add everything to that. If deposits are not claimed in 7 years, transfer there. If preference shares redemption हो गया है, but सामने से कोई नहीं आ रहा है, 7 साल हो गया है, transfer it there. See, unpaid dividend account, application money received, but refund करना है. I want to refund you application money. Nobody is coming. 7 years, go there. Deposits, debentures, any interest on these, even that will be transferred over there. Any grant donation given by central government, state government will be transferred to the fund. So basically, let us say in parliament in a budget session, they announce कि this time we announce 10 crore toward IPF. तो amount वहाँ पे जाएगा ना भाई, IPF में जाएगा. उसके बाद, will this money be kept idle? IDLE? No sir, it will be invested somewhere in government securities. तो उनको उसके ऊपर भी interest मिलेगा. तो वो भी वहाँ पे क्या होगा? Credit. Which question are we checking? It might come 7 marks. Which are the amounts to be credited to IEPF? So all the 7 years wala point, debentures, deposit, your preference share, your application money, your dividend, donations, and in 1956 Act, the previous one, in that also there was this fund, but section kya tha? It was 205C or the previous Act. So whatever balances in that amount, even that will be transferred where? It's just a transfer, it's just a book entry. Transferred where? Sir, here in the new 125 section. Sir, this is one, okay? Pay attention. Now, this is one thing. Which are the credits to this fund? There will be one more question. What are the debits to this fund? So what simple is, sir? It's very simple, sir. Any person who comes after 7 years, that money will be what? Refunded to them. It's very simple. So one, refund. Second, sir, the fund name is what? Investor Education and Promotion, right? So the main fund is what? So the fund amount will be done for that only. Investor Education Protection, whatever to spread awareness. Next, distribution of any discharge. What discharge amount? Let us say if any group of shareholders have faced losses from the company by anyone's thing. So somebody has done something to them, issued fake shares. So they are into big loss. If this is happening, the government can take the fund out of what? This. Next, reimbursement of legal expenses in class action suit. What is class action suit? In fact, class action suit was a new concept introduced in Companies Act 13 for the first time. So a lot of people can come together and file a single suit instead of individual filing the suit. In this thing, if there are some legal expenses to be borne, it is the company's fault. So yes, the government will help them in terms of what? In terms of legal expenses. A simple example, like very old Harshwardhan Mehta scam. In Harshwardhan Mehta scam, let us say many people, shareholders come together, no, there's a fraud which has taken place, this and that. So there's a lot of group of people, and they're telling to the government, ki government, it is not our fault. It is this person's fault. So point is what? Please tell me. There will be a class action suit, and there will be reimbursement of what? Legal expenses over there. Now, there will be 3 questions in your IEPF, section 125. Number 1 question is what? Ki what are the credits to this fund? Number 1. Second, what are the debits to this fund? That's the second question. The third question will be, sir, who exactly sits in this authority? What exactly is the composition of this fund? I'm telling you again. Credits, very simple, the 7 years wala logic. Debits, very simple, refund. Second, to promote the awareness. Third, sir, class action suit. And this one, the discharge amount. Whoever has faced losses because of company's default or some other illegal activities. So boss, the amount will come from this fund. The government will make ensure that there is some money given to these kind of shareholders. Okay. Now, constitution of the authority for administration of the fund. So it's very simple. Pay attention, please. Sir, in this, an authority is being constituted for administration maintenance. Further, with the notification, they hold meeting, board meetings and all that. But see, one thing is very important. What is the composition? Ki bhai baithega kaun usme? Number 1, sir, the secretary, the MCS secretary will be the ex officio chairperson. So I'll just write it over here. The composition, number one, chairperson, number 1, the chairperson. See, there was one word over here. What is that? Ex officio. What do you mean by ex officio, boss? Ex officio is that word which is used. Why? Because of one position, you're getting one more position. So this guy, listen, this guy was a secretary of Ministry of Corporate Affairs. This guy was a secretary of Ministry of Corporate Affairs. Because he was a secretary, he can become the chairperson over here. Now that is called as ex officio position. Because of some position, you are getting one more position. Are you understanding that? Very simple. Chairperson is whom? Sir, the secretary. It is the secretary of what? Ministry of Corporate Affairs. Sir, और भी कोई रहेगा ना उसमें? Yes, there is. There will be 6 members. There will be 6 members over here. 6 members. You can increase it. You can increase it to what? 7 maximum if there is more workload. Next, and there will be a chief executive officer. there will be a chief executive officer. Okay, so if at all there's a question comes on IEPF, Investor Education and Protection Fund, section 125. So what is the composition? So it's very simple. The chairperson is a secretary, whoever is there as a secretary of the Ministry of Corporate Affairs, that will be there. Members are 6, can be extended to 7, and there will be one what? Chief Executive Officer. There will be Chief Executive Officer. Next. Now, remember one thing, this is a fund. This is a fund. There will be debits, there will be credits. Sir, there will be hisab kitab. Somebody has to check something, right? Who will audit? Who will audit the IEPF? The answer is CAG. If you do not know what is CAG, please listen to me. It is the Comptroller and Auditor General of India. Comptroller, COM, not controller, Comptroller, COMPTROLLER. Okay, so CAG basically deals with the government audits. Okay, now this is a government fund, so they will have to deal everything, the audit accounts, they have to give it to them. Please check it. Okay, now also one more thing, all the annual report of the IEPF, because remember one thing, there will be tons of amounts over here. There will be lots of amounts in this IEPF, right? So it needs to be checked it somewhere, and you need to give it also to someone. It will be laid before each house of parliament. Okay, remember. So a normal company's report is being presented in front of the shareholders. But this fund, koi shareholder hai isme. So the fund will give it to whom? So each house of parliament. That is 125. We have remaining 2 sections. I'll wrap it up today only. 126, which is very small, and the bigger one is what? 127. I'll just take a sip of water and then we'll start immediately. Okay? Give me a minute, please. Can we start? Section 126. Now, pay attention. Number 1, right of dividend, right shares, bonus shares to be held in dash abeyance pending registration of transfer of shares. The main point is what? 126 talks about one thing only, and that is what? Pending. Now the main point is what? If at all, see, remember, whosever name is there in the register of members, only those persons are entitled to dividend. We just saw in the question, the record date part. So the main point is, if the company is not in a position to understand, ki boss, who is the legal owner of this? So the shares, everything will be kept what? Pending. Okay? Pay attention. According to 126, in case any instrument of transfer of shares has been delivered by a shareholder for registration and a transfer of such shares has not been registered by the company, such company shall take the following step. See, the 2-3 points over here. See, there's something called as register of member, a normal register of member. So it needs to be closed during the 1 year. I'll tell you what's the rule of that. The rule is the register of members can be closed for a continuous 30 days. In aggregate, it is 45 days. So, if you want to close the register, sir, first of all, tell us why we need to close the register. Are Baba, for reconciliation purpose, to check the member's name, to see whether any name is omitted or there's some extra name over there. So the rule is you can close the register in aggregate in the entire year 45 days, anytime. 5 days, 10 days, but it cannot exceed 45 days. The register can be closed only for 45 days. But at one stroke, if I want to close it today, I can only close it till 30 days at one point of time, straight point of time. I cannot exceed 30 at one point of time. In the entire year, it is 45 days. So remember one thing, if you are transferring your shares in between these days, will it be registered or what? No, because the register is closed only. So, what is 126 telling? if it happens, so we have one solution to it. We will transfer the dividend to what? Unpaid dividend account. Because let the register get open, let us see who is the actual shareholder, then we'll transfer the amount. So in the meantime, the amount will be transferred where? To unpaid dividend account. Very, very simple. Okay. And rest everything will be kept pending. Whatever share it is, bonus share, right share, whatever it is, we will keep what? We will keep it pending only. Okay. Till the date reopens. Now, very, very, very important. Very, very important. Okay. Pay attention now, please. Now, this is section 127. This is section 127. Very, very important. Okay. Now, remember one thing. This punishment is for what? Punishment for failure to distribute dividend within how many days? 30 days. I am repeating myself again. Punishment for failure to distribute dividend within how many days? 30 days. Very simple. Very simple. Remember one thing, this part is okay, we can learn this, but you know what's the main point? The main point is this: exemption from punishment. It's a wonderful concept, okay? But first we'll do this. So where a company declares dividend, it must be paid. Obviously you can pay it cash, check, bank transfer, dividend water, whatever it is, okay? In case a company fails to pay dividend or post dividend, every director of the company shall be punishable with imprisonment. Okay, remember it's directly jail up to how many years? 2 years. And if he's knowingly a party, and he shall also be liable to pay how much? 1,000 for everyday fine. But that's not the important part. The main part is what this, the last part. See, the company shall pay simple interest at how much? 18% per annum. What is the meaning of this now? It's very simple. Sir, I just told you, if you have heard my lecture properly, I told you there are two types of interest rate in this chapter. 12%, 18%. You should be able to distinguish when is 12% and when is 18% per annum. Now tell me, when is 18% per annum? So it's very simple. If we cannot pay the dividend in 30 days, we're not able to pay in 30 days, then 18% per annum interest will start. So once we got this. What was 12%? If you delay in transferring the amount in UDA, if you delay in transferring the amount in UDA, 12% rate of interest will be applicable. I hope this is very clear. When you transfer UDA, sir, within 7 days from the expiry of 30 days, it is mentioned in the timeline over here. Where's the timeline? Here. So, bhai sahab, pay attention. After this, it is 18%. But, where's this? Sorry, where's this? If this is 18% and if you make delay over here in UDA account, it is how much? 12%. 12%. Very, very important. And for the last part, exemption from what? Punishment. Exemption from what? Punishment. Pay attention, it's very, very important. Now see, I'll tell you first logic behind this. Even if you do not pay dividend in 30 days, even if you do not pay dividend in 30 days, still you will be saved. Sir, kaisa possible hai? How is this possible? In fact, they have also mentioned penalty also over there, imprisonment and all. Now they are telling, we'll save you if these points attract. So what are these points? Pay attention please, very simple. Under the following cases, where the company has failed to pay declared dividend in how many days? 30 days. No offense shall be deemed to have been committed. Sir, what is this? It is so good. No punishment is attracted. Acha, tell me one thing. I'll just share some few points with you. See whether you understand this or what. Tell me, dividend is payable to whom, Ray? Dividend is payable to registered shareholder or to his order or to his banker. We already know this thing. Now, let us say, I am the company. I want to give you dividend. So I ask your details and all that. But you tell me, wait. Don't give it to me. Give it to my friend. I don't want it. Or give it to my mom. Give it to my dad. They are the beneficiary. I said, okay, done. And you forget to give me your dad's details. You don't give it. I am actually reminding you every day, please give me your dad ka detail. And you're like, no. There's no response from you. Now you tell me, How will I get punished if I don't pay? I am ready to pay over here, but your directions are not being complied with. So these pointers are there in this, which will actually save you from section 127. Number one, where the dividend could not be paid by reason by operation of any law. So what is operation of any law? One thing, yeah, see, remember, let us say if there is a death in the family, inheritance laws will be applicable. So we have no idea who is the next successor. Let us say somebody becomes insolvent. Nothing, there's no bank account, there's nothing. There's some technical fault in the banking thing. Anything can happen. But due to the law thing, you are ready to pay. You are ready to pay. But due to some law, due to some statutory things, you are not being able to pay. That is not your fault at all. Even you do not know who is the next successor. कि पैसा दो किसको भाई मैं? Next, where a shareholder has given directions and these directions cannot be complied with. The same example which I gave you. You have given me direction that please transfer to this person. Now this person, the details of that person I don't have any. But there's a main point in this. I need to communicate it with you. I need to tell you, ki boss, see, you have given me direction. I want to comply, but the main point is what? I am not able to complete it only. And this thing needs to be communicated to you. Okay. I can tell you one more thing also. In operation by of any law, you know one thing. During COVID also, a lot of things were stopped. Banking transactions were not happening. Anything. Even in that day, the law has told. Law ने clear कर बोला था कि there will be no transaction happening in this phase. There will be no financial transactions happening. And your days were coming in that only. So will you be punished? No, sir. Law ने मना किया, sir. Next, where there is a dispute regarding right to receive. What is dispute? We have no idea कि भाई who is the main owner? Transferor, transferee. There is something problem going on. There is no documentation. There is nothing. So if there is no legal title, we will not send the dividend. Where the dividend has been lawfully adjusted by the company against any sum due it from the shareholder. There was some money which was supposed to come from your side. So what did the company do? They legally adjusted, set off kiya usne. I am supposed to pay you 10 rupees and you are supposed to pay me 20 rupees. So what I did? I set it off. Are you getting this thing? Lawfully, and this has to be communicated to you. This has to be told to you, right? Okay. I just cannot do it like that only. And where for any other reason, the failure to pay dividend or to post warrant within the prescribed period was not due to any default on part of company. So what example can we put over here? For any other reason का मतलब क्या होता है? Now we are talking about, I'll just tell you a basic example. You tell me one thing here. I wanted to post you dividend warrant. You had already told me, ki boss, I don't want dividend in this cash and all that. You please post me dividend warrant. So I did it. But it was the post office which made a mistake. I sent it very properly. I sent it during the time. I sent it to a proper address. But the post office did a big thing. They did not communicate. They did not send it to your proper address. Whereas I had put very proper address. Is it my fault? No. I can take defense over here. For any other reason, see, remember one thing, if there is any other reason, if there is anything which is beyond my control, so boss, I am not liable for it. It's very simple. Section 127 का ये क्या है? Exemptions है. Okay? Exemption from what? Punishment. I hope you have understood this. I hope you're understanding this. That's the main concern. One second. Exemption for what? Punishment. Okay. That was the last point. There's a summary over here. Now, that's the end of your what? 123 to 127. 123 to 127. Now, there will be one more lecture of dividend. In that, we will discuss the question and answers. Very, very simple. Okay. I'll tell you one more thing. See. Where it is. So see, this is your content for what? The company act. Now we have completed this wala part, the dividends. Okay, now we will do all other things. You know why I've started? See, you'll find this also in the drive. ये भी आपको मिल जाएगा. Company formation and conversion. Okay, the main point is what people do start with that. It's obviously the start, that's the start point. But remember one thing, this is the most basic part. If you see the past examination question answers, they have asked everything from the down part. Okay, so in the next, investment loans, your accounts audit, board of directors, board meeting तो भाई बहुत पूछा है. This is that thing where you need to focus a board meeting. See, what has happened is in your CMA intermediate there was no concept of board meeting only. If you remember, see, there was proxy, quorum, meetings, AGM, section 100, that EGM, वो वही था. And after that, directors was there. There was no board meeting at all. Board meeting will come right now. And they've asked questions on board meeting a lot. Inspection, compromise and prevention, operation, mismanagement are the last parts. But what I feel is you should concentrate more on these wala parts. Upar wala. We'll do that also. I'm telling you to concentrate that, okay? And after, when company gets over, complete 60 marks, then we start off with what? The economic loss. Okay, very, very simple. Only one request from my end, you need to prepare notes. Okay, I'll give you this only, but even you need to write down something. You know what's the habit? People do take printout notes. The point is they don't write only anything. Most of क्या करेंगे? They take a highlighter. They'll just start what? Highlighting it. I don't think that's going to work out worse. Please write it down because our paper is writing. Okay, and also the entire thing is going to be in English language. Please do listen to English language because the paper जो लिखना है वो English में ही लिखना है आपको, ठीक है? It will be simple English. You can share this in your friends. This is the first lecture of law. I hope you have liked it. Please do drop a comment, and yes, I'll see you in the next lecture. Thank you. Bye bye.